Is there anything that you know of that people can do to support the Ukraine through all of these efforts? What can our listeners do to help?
Well, I think I always post lots of ways that people can help. And really, I have a hashtag over on Instagram, which is do one thing for Ukraine every day. And that may sound like a daunting prospect to be able to do one thing for Ukraine every day. That's a big demand. But actually, you can do small things. And those small things are like little drops of water that I envision being growing into a big tidal wave that pushes Russian troops back across their own borders and restores Ukraine. So things can be like to seek out Ukrainian bands and music, for example, find Ukrainian creators. I do a thing that I host every Wednesday. It's probably the worst time for people in Australia, but it's probably super early in the morning for you guys. But I do at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 2 hours from now, or an hour from now.
That'd be
I
middle of the day for us here in Australia.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. So at 7 p.m. Pacific time, I host, I have a friend in Kiev, and he has a small grassroots organization where he buys groceries for seniors who are homebound and who are living on these very small pensions and are stuck where they are because they can't go someplace to another country because they can't work in another country. So the seniors are stuck there. They can't leave. And he feeds seniors in Kiev and he feeds seniors in Zaporizhia, which is in the war zone. And he has a small team, just a few people, and they buy groceries and they deliver groceries to 200 seniors over the course of a month. They go once a month to deliver 2 weeks of groceries. $40 buys 2 weeks of groceries. And I do a thing that I call Tarot for Kindness, and he and I get together and we stream it over YouTube. So if people follow me on YouTube, I'm Madame Pamita, on Twitter, if anyone's still on Twitter, at Madame Pamita, and at Facebook at Madame Pamita. And you can find this and you can join us live. I do tarot readings for $10 a card, and you can make a donation over Venmo, PayPal, and all the places. And then 100% of that money goes to feed these seniors. And that's a wonderful thing that you can do. And I love it because it's like no administration on this. It's one person, me, donating 100% of the proceeds. In fact, I pay for the part that Venmo takes or PayPal takes. I cover all that part as well. But we take 100% of those proceeds, and then Ivan, my friend in Kiev, he buys the groceries and he and his team distribute them to the seniors. There's no overhead, there's no administration, there's no advertising, there's none of these other expensive. It actually goes to make the difference between these seniors who are deciding between their medications and food. I mean, that's the level of some of these seniors. The stories are incredible. They've met some of these seniors and gotten some of these seniors because they've been begging for will you please buy me a loaf of bread? That's how desperate things are there, and desperate for these seniors who cannot work. There's some of them are in their 80s and their 90s. Some of them are disabled and they can't go out and work and they can't leave. So in this horrific situation, we can be a little bright light. We can make a difference. And this is the thing that I'm doing. But you can do things like follow Ukrainian creators on your favorite social media, like their posts, comment on their posts. Even if you comment in English, oh, that's beautiful, or a little blue heart and a yellow heart, or whatever. These are wonderful things that you can do because that's the fuel that makes them know they are not alone. And when we are dealing with people who are oppressed, anybody, I learned this technique when we were having in the States people attacking Muslim people, and when this whole thing was going on with Trump and all this stuff. One of the things that I was taught was don't go to the person who's attacking and get in their face. Go to the person who is being attacked and sit with them and say, are you okay? Tell me about are you okay? Can I do anything for you? And talk to them, because that's what's needed, is for us to ally with the people who are suffering, who are being oppressed, to let them know they are not alone, that they are not alone in this situation. And just even a comment on a post can make someone feel, a follow, a comment, listening to the music, learning about the culture, reading things, buying a book about Ukrainian magic, all of it helps because it all shows the people that are suffering, that they're not alone. We can't be there fighting. I would more than anything want to be over there and be helping, but I would be a burden because they'd have to house me, feed me, and all of that. But I can send money to people who are already there on the ground and make a difference. So
Thank
that's
you. Fantastic tips, fantastic ideas. I love all of that. So thank you so much for giving some useful, practical, and easily accessible tips for everyone. I think that is wonderful. And I'm never afraid to get political on my podcast and talk about these things because they matter and it's important. And we need to share and we need to help each other. We need to stand up and help, especially people who are oppressed. Absolutely. Very much aligns.